Was that just something like what you're saying where you're like, I'm going to play my best because this is the greatest football player of all time? Or was he more like personal with it, you know?
I kind of started to notice it like the second and third year I played with him. It's like it's just him. Like he's not necessarily like maybe with the receivers, like he'll go kind of like talk to them individually and stuff that he wants them to do. But I remember he told me my rookie year, he said, don't get beat fast and don't get beat inside and we'll be all right. And I was like, Roger that. I was like, I can do that because then it's just fight, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna get everyone's gonna get beat.
Yeah.
But if you do, I'm like, die a slow death. Like fight your balls off. I'm like,
yes, sir.
Yeah, like.
Welcome to the Green Light Podcast, presented by BetMGM. BetMGM is still the home of the second chance. Every Friday of the NBA season, BetMGM is making first field goal wagers more exciting with Second Chance. With BetMGM's Second Chance, you will get your stake back in cash if your first field goal scorer scores the second instead. Be sure to take advantage of this offer if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet. Use bonus code GREENLIGHT when you sign up.
Beau Allen here. Welcome back to the Love Sack Lounge. I am joined by Tristan Wirfs. Tristan, thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah.
Look at us. Look at us.
Who would have thunk it?
Who'd have thought?
Dude, let's talk about that Super Bowl in 2020. This is your rookie year, man. How nice is it to win a Super Bowl in your rookie year?
Yeah, pretty unbelievable. Like looking back on it, like in the moment, I was like, it just feels normal. You're like, yeah, we got Tom Brady, we got Gronk, we got all these guys. We're just 3 road playoff games. Yeah, it's no big deal. Yeah, no, it was pretty insane.
Yeah, pretty casual, no big deal, Super Bowl, but. I feel like everything about that year was like just a little bit different. COVID year in the NFL, there's no fans in the stands. But then for you guys to go, exactly what you just said, road games, and then the Super Bowl in your own building. How awesome is that?
Oh, my goodness. So it's like everyone's been watching like the Super Bowl media stuff going on.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any. Well, one it being COVID, and two, like our home stadium, like we're watching them set up for the Super Bowl. Like, you can see the stadium from the practice field. So like we're watching them put everything up. And then just going home at night, sleeping in your own bed. And so, like, obviously being a rookie, I had no idea. I was like, yeah, this is normal. This is cool. And then after we won, like, just going home, like driving home, you're like, yeah, this is sick.
Super Bowl week is a grind.
Yeah.
Man. We just came from the Eagles media day, and you have so many different media obligations. So just to be able to, like, continue your normal game week prep, and, like, sleep in your own bed, play in your own stadium, that kind of stuff goes a long way.
100%.
But how cool is it, like, like I was saying, there's no fans in the stands. Like, Ray J shows out, and then now all of a sudden, like, you get to play in front of your home crowd. Like, could you feel like that was a big advantage for you guys?
I think so. Even with half capacity, like, I remember going out there and they had like the cardboard cutouts. And at first, like, I don't have very good vision, so like at first I went out there, I was like, oh my god, like, it's a packed stadium, packed house. And then they're like, no, and I get closer, like, okay, they're cardboard cutouts. But even still, like, with it being half capacity, like, it felt like, obviously, I don't know what a real Super Bowl feels like. Well, not real. Like, it was a real Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But like a full capacity one. But it was still, I thought it was still pretty loud, and it was a good environment.
Yeah. Let's talk about that game a little bit. Obviously, you guys beat the shit out of the Chiefs. It was what, 31-9?
31-9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about as runaway of a Super Bowl as you can have, I feel like.
It was insane.
Like, what do you remember most from that game? Like, for me, looking back in the Super Bowl, it was such a blur, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's hard because it's such a heightened environment and it's so emotional. It's like, I feel like I didn't really get to enjoy it as much.
No, 100%.
Yeah. Well, so like, what sticks out from you? What are your favorite memories from that game?
This one's tough. It's so Joe Haig, he was a lineman for the Colts. Like, we had a tackle pass for him. Like, he came in and he had it in his hands, and it was one of their linebackers, like, had his back towards the quarter, has his back towards Tom.
Yep.
Joe catches it, and just the guy punches it right out from his hands. It was like, that would have been huge.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been incredible. A big man touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That one sticks out to me. And I remember at halftime, we were up pretty decent. We were up like 24-3 or something like that. And I had, like, being a rookie, like, I hadn't really talked all year. I hadn't really said anything. But, like, going into the locker room, I was, like, yelling. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was like, we got to step on their throats. I was like, what am I doing?
No, I love that, bro.
It just, like, something just overcame me.
Yeah. It's a Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah.
You get a pass.
Yeah,
you know?
I remember doing that and like kind of looking back. I was like, why would I say that?
No, I love that. Yeah. Well, you're a rookie. You're a good rookie. Like you just said, you didn't really say much as a rookie, but dude, you came in right away and fucking played incredible. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like that gives you the ability to take on that, you know, that leadership role. You can be vocal. You know?
Yeah, I was from what I had been all year to that. People were like, what's he doing? looking at me funny.
You're like, is Tom judging me right now?
Oh, my first thought. I said, why would I say that? He probably heard me and thought I was an idiot.
He probably fucking loved you. You kept him clean all year, you know?
I love Tommy. Tommy's the best. But yeah, that was my one goal, was like to not let him get mad at me, not do anything to mess that up. I was like, we got 12 back there. I was like, I can't mess this up.
You don't want to be the O lineman that.
No,
like,
it's not gonna be my ass.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the one.
Yeah, and we had Vince Wilfork on yesterday, and he talked a lot about Tom and just how competitive he is, how demanding he is, but in a really good way. He gets the most out of everybody. Yeah. You know, everyone in the building, which is so cool. Is there like, did you feel that? Was that just something like what you're saying, where you're like, I'm going to play my best because this is the greatest football player of all time? Or was he more like personal with it, you know?
I kind of started to notice it like the second and third year I played with him. It's like it's just him. Like, he's not necessarily like, maybe with the receivers, like he'll go kind of like talk to them individually and stuff that he wants them to do. But I remember he told me my rookie year, he said, don't get beat fast and don't get beat inside, and we'll be all right. And I was like, roger that. I was like, I can do that, because then it's just fight, you know.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get everyone's gonna get beat.
Yeah.
But if you do, I'm like, die a slow death, like fight your balls off. I'm like,
yes, sir.
Yeah, like, but he never like individually said anything to me besides that. But just his presence, you know. You're like, this is Tom Brady. Like, everyone kind of elevated to it. Just who he is. Everyone knows the work he's put in. Obviously the accolades, the Super Bowls, everything. So he kind of just elevates everyone, I think just by being himself.
I mean, that's so interesting to me, because we missed each other in Tampa, which is a bummer, but we hang out. We're buddies. It's fun.
Do you remember first time we met? Was at Skyway Park?
Yeah, dude.
We were running?
Yes, I'll never forget. I had signed in New England. I was training. I was like, you got drafted. It was COVID year, so like everything shut down. I remember seeing you be like, what the fuck? This guy is massive. Like, what the fuck? I remember, dude, I told you this before. I saw you move for 30 seconds. I was like, yeah, this guy's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I remember you did tell me that. You did tell me that.
It was, I mean, that was fun. And then, you know, hang out at Soho Saloon every now and then.
Yeah, we'll find our way down there. So what?
Yeah, it's good stuff. Going back to that Super Bowl run, obviously the Chiefs are, you know, going for a three-peat. As a defensive lineman, like, I love their defense. Spags, he blitzes a lot. I talked to Lane Johnson about this today, but how do you prepare for a team that has a lot of, you know, exotic blitzes? Is that tough for you, or are you used to that because of Todd Bowles' defense?
I mean, we get a lot of crazy looks in training camp, so it's nothing crazy. But I mean, the Chiefs do run some wild stuff, and it's just about, you know, all the five guys up front being on the same page. I think that, you know, it's such a simple phrase, but it's like, if we all know where we're going, like, we could mess up, but if we're all messing up together, then, you know, we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And it's a funny saying, but
right, you're all wrong, you're all right.
I truly believe that. So I remember we played them this year. Was it night game in Arrowhead?
Yep.
That was my first time playing Arrowhead too. The pop that 15 gets when he runs out.
Yeah.
Dude,
it's one of the loudest stadiums.
Pretty
I think.
insane.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool venue. You know?
It's
a good
awesome.
place to play.
And being like close, I had a bunch of people in my hometown there, being close, so like that was cool, close to Iowa. But no, we get a lot of stuff from Coach Bowles, in training camps. Like, we're used to some crazy blitzes, and it's just about being on the same page, you know, with us and the quarterback. Yeah, and then, dude, as a D lineman, I got to bring up Chris Jones. Like, I think it's so interesting because he's a 3-technique, super long player, but he bumps out and rushes as a 5-tech a lot. And the thing I want to ask you, I talked to Lane about this too, is he lines in like a really tight 5 technique as a bigger body. Does that change your set, you know? Or are you just kind of doing the same set you do every time? A little bit. Like, I don't want to change stuff too much, because I mean, I think he's kind of expecting that. He's expecting you to go do something when he's out there. So maybe the first time I'll go jump a little, if I know it's a quicker protection, like I'm gonna go jump.
Just get on him quick.
Get my hands on him. Not let him, because he'll line up kind of like angled at you too. So it's always, you know, if they're tilted, they're never as far away as they seem. Right. But it's like, you don't want to fly out there, leave a big gap on the inside.
Don't get beat early. Don't get beat inside. Like, you know.
So just kind of being smart about your set, but also wanting to not let him just have a free pass to run through your face. Yeah. You know, because I mean, he's a big dude. People see him in person, you're like, holy shit. Yeah,
he is, and he's got long arms. He's really good with that tight double hand swipe. You know, he just contorts his torso.
Yeah. So I think just getting on him. My plan was just get my hands on him.
Yeah. I mean, and you're huge. It's like you kind of want to encourage guys to run down your face. You know. So how much, like, this is what I always find so interesting, is just the pass rush game. It's almost like I've had coaches compare it to boxing. You know what I mean? You're punching, you're counter punching, and then there's a game within the game where as defensive linemen, we're trying to set you up for rushes, and then you're trying to, maybe you'll do a jump set early to try to get in a guy's head. Like, how much of that is instinctual and how much of that is like created through game plan during the week?
Oh my gosh, probably right down the middle, because obviously it depends on who you're going against, what you can do. Personally, like physically what you can do.
Yeah.
But I mean, you said the game within the game too. It's like you as a D lineman understanding me as an O lineman is going to do that. I'm going to change up my set. And at the same time, I heard Max Crosby say it on a podcast once. She's like, I'm going to, test a spin early to see how a tackle bites on it.
Yep.
So it's like, I'm thinking of that stuff too. Like, okay, what's he giving me so far?
Yep.
What's he put on tape? Like, the big thing is like, if somebody has a spin, because it's like, you don't want to look silly, out on tape, but knowing, okay, this guy's tried this and I've tried this. So it's funny, the game within the game and the counter punch, like our O-line coach talks about that a lot too. And it's just knowing what my move's going to give him, and what he can do off it. So it's like, I see, like I said, about the inside, leaving a big inside gap on my inside. If I go jump set, well, it's like, okay, if he has his inside foot back, one place he can go is inside. Not many guys can have their inside foot up. I can do it right now. So if I'm seeing his inside foot up, I'm like, maybe I won't jump set as much here.
Is the spin is that what you feel like you are most concerned about? Because I remember Hutch got you with a spin.
The two in the playoff game 2 years ago. Yes,
he's pretty slick.
He's
slick
slippery
for a white boy.
And he's big. He's big too. He's big, fast, and he's slippery. It's insane.
He's a good player.
But I mean, the spin inside, that's the hardest thing for most tackles is when your feet stop and having to redirect. So, I mean, and that's the fastest thing for him. So, I mean, that's the thing I'm most concerned about is if a guy has a spin, like.
I didn't have a spin.
How quick is it? Some guys don't. That's all right.
I tried to spin one time in college, and my D-line coach goes, he paused the tape, he looks at me, he goes, turn the spin cycle off.
Like,
I was like, okay, never fucking do it again. I talked a little bit about Hutch. I think he's a great rusher. I love asking tackles this question because, like everyone loves a fucking good edge rusher. Who do you think are a couple guys that like do it at a incredible level? Like who are those guys where you see them on the board each week and you're like, all right, I gotta be ready for this one?
Yeah, I love this question. I always feel bad. I feel like I'm leaving people off. Because there's so many. Myles Garrett is a freak.
A fucking dog.
Myles
bro.
Garrett, come to Tampa. Not crazy.
Hey, you heard it here.
Yeah, come to Tampa.
You sure you want that every day?
Hey, I tell you what, it'll make both of us better.
Yeah,
it'll make both of us better. What did I say? Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Micah Parsons, T.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
just feel like there's some times though where like I'd play certain guys. I always struggled with, like short, stubby.
Trey Hendricks.
Yeah, Trey Hendricks is really good. Short, stubby guards that were kind of built like me, or I couldn't power them. You know what I mean? And I did well against like offensive tackle bodies in a guard. You know what I mean? Just because of how I'm built and the way I play. And I feel like it's so interesting to see like some guys struggle versus different types of rushers just because of how they set. And it's a game within the game. It's fun to talk about.
No, it is. It's and that's the thing. That's the fun part about watching film each week is like you get to see how guys rush different people. Like okay, like this guy's a similar, pass protector to me. Like he's similar body size. What did he get got on? Yeah, how did he get got? Okay, I can't let that happen. But it's I think that's the fun part. Is like it's you and another guy. Like who's gonna come out on top?
Yep, exactly. Every week. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the Eagles. I feel like, I'm wearing an Eagles shirt right now. I want a Super Bowl with the Eagles. A little bit of an Eagles homer. You know that. Yeah. It's hard not to be. But you guys in Tampa have had the Eagles number lately. I feel like the last, what was it? It was the wild card last year. But like every year, I feel like you guys play really well against Tampa. What do you see from their defense this year? They got Vic Fangio, who's new. I don't think. You've probably played his defenses a number of times. Probably. But what do you see from the Eagles and their front seven, especially that you like this weekend?
Their D-line is
pretty good, right?
Their D-line's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just with the group of guys they have, like, there was Jalen Carter obviously, but I remember that was a big kind of thing going in the week. You're like, okay, we got to know where this guy's at.
Yeah.
Yep. And when we played him. This year I had BG a bunch.
Yeah.
And that was the most I've had him.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun getting to go against him.
He talks a lot of shit.
He does. Yeah. I didn't know. And I'm not good at that.
You're gonna feel me. Yeah. You're gonna feel me.
I'm not very good at talking shit. So I was like,
no, you're not.
All right, BG, I got you. I got you.
You're just buddy.
Yeah. I was like, this is awesome.
He's got that laugh. Yeah.
But those guys, their front seven, They got Nolan Smith.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of Georgia guys. Nolan Smith.
Right.
Sweat. Like they got. Did he change his number this year?
Yeah, he's was he 19 or something?
19. Yeah, because he was 90.
Because he was 94, which
94,
is a pretty good number in Philly.
94.
You know?
No, like those guys. Like it's always a fun game, fun physical game.
Yeah.
I remember in the playoffs, I had Sweat the whole. Me and him were on just battling the whole game.
It's fun when you play guys over the course of your career, and like maybe they're at different spots, or like obviously your division opponents you're going to see twice a year, but. And then you kind of learn each other's moves, and you become friends on the field first. It's a cool thing. Tristan, I want to talk about the Bucs. Offensively, the Bucs were great this year, man. You guys, the thing I was most impressed with is, I mean, no offense, like your run game in the past has been kind of shitty.
Mm-hmm.
It was great this year.
Yeah.
What did you guys do different in your run game and with your dude, you have 3 really good backs.
Yeah, we do.
What'd you do different to kind of take that next step?
I mean, obviously getting Liam in. He kind of, it's the same system, similar system. We weren't learning a ton of new stuff, but I think he's just putting different motions on it, putting pre-snap motions and everything to slow up the defense's eyes a little bit. I got this question a bunch during the season. I'm like,
just run the fucking ball.
I don't really know. It's like because nothing in my head. I was like, we're running the same plays.
Yeah.
There's
like 6 run plays. Dude.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
It's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Unless you're the Lions, you do all this crazy sweeps and all this stuff. But no, I just thought we had a 3-headed monster back there. We got Bucky, Rashad, and Tuck. Like those guys were toting the rock.
Yeah.
Bucky played 50% of the snaps. I think had 1,000 yards.
Great.
Rashad's an insane receiving back. So it's like we had these guys for different situations. But they could do everything. So I think that was really nice. And just being able to, the thing was like get them up to the second level, like get them up to the second level, like limit the tackle for losses, do all that stuff.
Yep.
And we'll be all right. And we're like,
that's what I'm curious about. I mean, you talked about the three-headed monster you guys have, all kind of very different styles.
Yeah.
Do you like when you're in the huddle? Do you know which back you have and kind of what it's going to be, or is you know what I mean? Like, are you getting more duos with Tuck and you're getting more outside runs with Bucky, or
a little bit. Like I started to notice that more at the end of the season. Like Rashad was big mid zone. Bucky, I think was like, because he's smaller, he can kind of hide behind the pullers. Like was in for a lot of the gap and trap stuff.
Yep.
And then Tuck was like, I'm gonna run through your face.
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
And it's awesome. It's awesome.
I'm pleased with that.
Yeah. So it's like. I sometimes I wouldn't know who was back there, but like in the huddle you seem like okay, like but there were sometimes like I don't know who's back there. Like run the rock,
run the play.
Yeah, run the play.
Another thing that I was really impressed about with the Bucs offensively is there's a stretch of time where you guys didn't have your, in my opinion, probably 2 best players on the team, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and he's still effective offensively. Like how much of that do you think was due to the run game, or was it just Liam Cohen figuring out a way to kind of change the offense a little bit and get it done?
Man, I think a little bit of everything, but I think Baker too. Like Baker's dealing.
Yes.
Because like he was dealing without Mike and Chris.
Yeah.
So it's like guys that we had to have young guys step up. And that's okay. Like that's the NFL. That's how it goes.
Right.
But I think everyone kind of played a role in that. Like Liam obviously knew with those 2 guys down, we got to dial some stuff up for some other guys. But us as an O-line, like we got to get this run game going.
Yeah.
We got to put it on our shoulders. And the backs too, they're all for it. They're like, let's ride. Like there were times where Bucky and Rashad come over, they're like, let's keep running this fucking thing. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go. Say less. Let's do it.
Okay, you talked about Baker. I fucking love Baker. He's just such a guy's guy. Yeah. How great is to play with a quarterback like that? He's just got such shit to him,
Yeah. It's been awesome because obviously coming from Tom, like I couldn't go have a beer with Tom. Like he couldn't come out with us. He couldn't go to dinner with us, whatever it was. But Bake being that guy has been so much fun, and it's been awesome for to build our relationship. I remember when he first got here, it's like he was in the hotel just by himself, like his wife hadn't come out yet, and he texts me like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Nothing, dude. It's the summertime. Like, just got done training." He's like, "Can we go get lunch or something?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go get a beer. Let's do what I'm like, "Whatever. You're in a hotel. Like, let's get you out of there."
That shit goes a long way, man.
Yeah, and now it's he's one of my best friends, and it's really fun. It's cool.
Yeah. Plus, like, dude, the thing I love about Baker is like he's not afraid to run through some other. Like he trucked Bobby Wagner.
I was just gonna say
that was sick.
I didn't really know it was Bobby Wagner until I saw the replay. I was like, damn.
Yeah. I saw Baker in the gym the next day, and he was like flexing on me. I was like, let's go.
No,
dude.
that's the kind of guy he is. Like, he's awesome.
It makes you want to play hard.
Yeah. He did it first game of the season. His first game as a Buck, he did it in Minnesota. Baker like kind of ran him over on the sideline. I was like, damn. This guy's
that'll
cool.
get your blood hot a little bit. Dude, Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm.
How cool was that to get that like 11 seasons straight, 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
How cool is it to finally like see him achieve that?
It was unbelievable because like, well, one, I didn't know it was only Jerry Rice.
Yep.
I thought there were a couple others sprinkled in there, but only Jerry Rice
and Mike.
And now Mike too. People were talking about it all week, and like Mike wasn't. He's like, whatever.
He's so like chill.
Yeah, he's just so nonchalant about it. You're like, okay, like this is just the coolest thing.
But
ever.
you see how emotional he got after it, you know? Like, how crazy you guys went on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like,
but like it was supposed to happen where Bucky scored right before that.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be the play, and they brought like zero blitz, and we're like, oh, shit, Baker kind of they brought somebody that we didn't think they were gonna bring, and then Baker just flipped it to Bucky. Bucky goes and scores, and everyone's like, damn.
Yeah.
We called it play like it's basically the Mike plays.
Yep. I'm watching the clock too. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna get another possession.
And but the thing, we got to the sideline and nobody thought the game was over. Like we were basically won the game right there. And everyone's like, we'll get the ball back. We're gonna get it back. Like that's everyone's mindset. And we do. And like Mike's getting it. You know, everyone in the world knew it was Mike, and it happened. And seeing how excited he got, and just seeing how excited everybody, the whole stadium was just for Mike, like cheering right there. I'm getting goosebumps.
He deserves it, man. He's an absolute fucking dog.
Yeah.
Great guy. Obviously a legendary player. I want to talk about Iowa weight room. Okay. Because I went to Wisconsin. We're a bunch of meatheads. I remember we've talked about this in the past, but like, what was the training culture like for you? I know, like, dude, I remember seeing you hang clean like 450 like 4 times.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, that was fun.
How hard did you guys get after it in college in the weight room?
It was insane. Like looking back on it.
Yeah.
Because I think I train hard right now.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's nothing. Like we were getting after it, and like I loved it. And like they told you that too from the beginning.
Your strength coach literally gave some guys on your team rhabdo when I was in college from training too hard.
I remember reading about that, and it was like they told me when I was getting recruited, they're like, "This is gonna be the hardest stuff you do."
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm all for it. Because they were up front, they're like, "Yeah, this is gonna suck, but it's gonna make you a better football player." I'm like, let's do it. And like I love Coach Solo to death.
Yeah.
And it was insane, but it was so fun. It was like the most fun. Like you're with your boys.
Super competitive.
So competitive. Like and they made it fun for us. Like they made it. You know, we're doing competition drills for points that would count like in the summertime.
Yeah.
You know, like
we used to have we call it the daddy rack. So like all the squat racks were lined up in this shitty dungeon basement, and like you would get placed based on your 1 rep max, and then like if you improved, you would move up, and then the rack on the farthest right was the daddy rack, and then if someone overtook you, you got moved down, and it was intense.
No,
dude.
It's electric. I mean, like when I did that hang clean, like having all the guys there, and like I remember I was in like the middle lift group, so like I came in and guys are like, "What are you gonna do today?"
Yeah. What'd you go for? Hey, what this guy?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know. They're like, "Are you gonna do it?" I was like, I don't know. Yeah. And then like the guys in the first lift, like they finished their run and they all came in the weight room, and I was like, I remember I remember chalking up, and like turning around and seeing like this, all my boys behind me.
Like, it's fucking on.
And I was like, let's go. I said this weight, and I remember the first rep, it felt so light. The first rep, I was like, just so much adrenaline. Like all your boys, like some of the coaches are there. They got recruits in there.
Yeah.
And I remember like I knew I needed 3 to break the records. I knew I needed 3, and it was so crazy.
Dude, that's like the most impressive lift I think I've seen. And you know I'm a fucking meathead, bro. I live for this shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was
along,
so fun.
Along those lines. Well, dude, Super Bowl champion, Tristan Wirfs, unbelievable guy. Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Good chats. Yeah, come hang out at the house.
Yep.
We got a gator cooking outside.
I went and saw it. We took a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is up? It's the Butter King, dairy expert. This episode of the Greenlight Podcast is brought to you by Daya Pizza, featuring dairy-free cheese, now made with Daya Oat Cream Blend. Let's talk about FOMO. Fear of missing dairy. It's real. We've all had it. The Butter King has certainly had it. You know, when you hear about dairy-free cheese, you get a little skeptical, especially if you're a cheese and butter lover like me. But Daya's set out to create the ooeyest, gooeyest dairy-free cheese pizza there is with absolutely no trade-offs. Daya pizzas are dairy-free and still deliver the rich, savory taste and total satisfaction that everyone craves and demands when looking for a frozen pizza to take home. Daya pizzas hit all the marks. Thin, crispy crust, flavorful toppings, including meatless options that taste meaty, and cheese that's rich, stretchy, and melts just like dairy. All thanks to their innovative Daya Oat Cream Blend. Daya has cured my FOMO, and now you don't have to fully commit to a dairy-free lifestyle to enjoy it. Thank God. So next time I'm in the great state of Wisconsin, home to a lot of great dairy products. I might actually trick everyone and have some dairy-free cheese pizza. Make your next pizza night FOMO free with Daya. To learn more about Daya, please visit www.dayafoods.com. Check them out on Instagram and TikTok, or visit any major retailer across the U.S., including Whole Foods, Kroger, and Walmart. Coming soon to select Publix and Sprouts.